Look what washed up on the beach in Japan. The mystery debris is spherical in shape, 5 feet in diameter, and made of metal because it's rusting in some spots.
The military is reviewing video of a large mystery object discovered by locals on a WA beach. They're trying to confirm what it is and where on earth it came from.
Take a walk on the beach, we usually expect to find shells, driftwood, and seaweed washed up on the shore. But sometimes, the ocean brings in much stranger and bizarre items. Maybe relics from the past, inventions from a bygone era, or fossils of unknown creatures from ancient history. Today, we'll explore some of the most extraordinary objects that have washed ashore, uncovering the hidden stories and historical mysteries they carry. Number 15. Mystery object on Greenhead Beach, Western Australia. Imagine taking a leisurely walk along the beach, enjoying the serene waves and golden sand, only to stumble upon a colossal, mysterious metal cylinder. This is exactly what happened to some locals at Greenhead Beach in Western Australia. They found a giant rusted dome about 2.5 meters wide and up to 3 meters long, washed ashore like a scene straight out of a sci-fi movie. Authorities, naturally puzzled, rushed to the site. Not sure what its origin was, they advised the curious crowd to keep their distance. It's not every day that something like this just rolls onto the beach. The object, initially thought to be part of a commercial aircraft, turned out to be a lot more interesting and potentially hazardous. Aviation experts and space enthusiasts quickly jumped on the case. The leading theory? This massive metal piece is likely part of a fuel tank from a space rocket, specifically India's Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. It's a mouthful, so it's simply called PSLV. Imagine the journey it must have taken from the vastness of space to the depths of the Indian Ocean, and finally onto an Australian beach. It's almost poetic. But let's not get too romantic about it. There's a real reason why police cordoned off the area. Such space debris can be dangerous, possibly containing toxic materials. Authorities, including Australia's space agency and military, worked together to confirm its origin and ensure public safety. They were on the lookout for a serial number that could solve the mystery once and for all. Despite the warnings, the local community couldn't resist a closer look. One resident described the scene as a great social evening. Kids built sandcastles around the object while adults speculated about its origins. It's a bizarre mix of danger and community spirit that you don't see every day. An aviation expert dispelled some wilder theories, such as the object being part of the ill-fated MH370 flight. The wear and tear on such debris would be far more severe given the plane's disappearance way back in 2014. The Australian Space Agency was finally able to confirm that the mystery object was in fact debris from an expended third stage of a Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. So, there you have it, a giant, potentially hazardous piece of space history turning a quiet beach into a temporary tourist hotspot. Number 14, 1,570-foot section of pipe. In August 2017, the North Norfolk coast saw something truly bizarre. Instead of the usual seashells or driftwood, beachgoers found a gigantic pipe stretching 1,570 feet along the shore. This pipe was nearly 8 feet wide, big enough to drive a car through. It was part of a shipment from Norway to Algeria for power and desalination projects. But an accident with an Icelandic container ship set 12 sections of the pipe adrift in the sea. While some were recovered, others ended up on the beaches of Norfolk. The largest pipe beached between Winterton-on-Sea and Seapaling, quickly becoming a local attraction. People couldn't resist walking on top of the massive pipe, taking selfies, and marveling at its sheer size. However, this curiosity came with a warning. The Norwegian company that made the pipes warned that if someone was beside it when the pipe moved, they could be crushed. Walking on it was also risky, as one could fall and get trapped under the massive weight. To keep everyone safe, guards were stationed to prevent people from getting too close until the pipes could be retrieved. Fortunately, the pipes posed no environmental risk other than their physical presence. The sight of these enormous pipes on a tranquil beach was a stark contrast to the usual seaside scenery, drawing both fascination and concern from the community. Eventually, the salvage operation was completed and the pipes were towed back to Norway. Number 13. Giant Eyeball. In 2012, beachcombers in Pompano Beach, Florida, got the shock of their lives when they stumbled upon a gigantic eyeball washed ashore. This wasn't just any eyeball, it was the size of a softball, with an eerie blue hue that immediately sparked curiosity and wild speculation. As soon as a photo of the eye was posted online, it went viral, prompting hundreds of comments and theories. The big question on everyone's mind: what marine creature did this massive eye belong to? Initial guesses range from a giant squid to a whale, or even a large fish like a tuna or swordfish. The sheer size and unusual nature of the find turned it into an instant sensation, with people eagerly awaiting answers. Marine biologists quickly got to work, analyzing the eye's characteristics. Based on its color, size, and structure, along with the presence of bone around it, experts concluded that the eye most likely came from a swordfish. These impressive predators can weigh up to 1,100 pounds and are common in the waters off South Florida, making this a plausible explanation. But how did this massive eyeball end up on the beach? The straight line cuts around the eye added to the mystery. Experts believe that a deep-sea angler likely caught the swordfish, removed the eye while dressing the fish, and discarded it into the ocean. While this practice is not uncommon, finding such a large eye washed ashore is certainly rare. So, while the idea of a sea monster with a single giant eye roaming the depths remains in the realm of fantasy, the true story behind the Pompano Beach eyeball is no less captivating. It's a rare glimpse into the life of one of the ocean's most formidable creatures, the swordfish, and a testament to the strange and wonderful surprises the sea can offer. Number 12. The colossal driftwood of La Push. On the shores of La Push, a small beach town on Washington's western peninsula, you might stumble upon something extraordinary: enormous pieces of driftwood. But calling them driftwood feels like an understatement when these washed-up giants are actually fully intact tree trunks. Coming face to face with a colossal tree trunk is awe-inspiring. Its size dwarfs anyone standing beside it. These massive drift logs are not your everyday beach find. They are likely brought ashore by powerful winter storms. The forests nearby are home to trees that can reach diameters of 5 to 10 feet and grow several hundred feet tall. When storms cause the rivers to flood, these towering trees can be uprooted and sent on a journey downstream, eventually washing up on the beaches. It's a testament to the immense power of nature, able to transport such massive trees to the shores. The sheer size of the drift logs, surrounded by smaller pieces of driftwood, is mesmerizing. These drift logs, with their rough bark and massive girth, look like pieces of art.
Whoa, look at this root ball here. This is an awesome beach, man. Oh, check out that.
Climbing on these gigantic logs, watching the waves crash around them, is a unique and exhilarating experience. It is a sight to behold. Number 11. Amazon River Monster in Florida. Dead fish washing up ashore is nothing out of the ordinary. It's a daily occurrence on beaches across the globe. But a dead fish that ended up on a Florida beach stirred up a mix of curiosity and concern among locals. And there is very good reason for it. What washed ashore was a massive, rotting Amazon River monster. This wasn't your typical beach find. It was an arapaima, one of the world's largest freshwater fish, measuring up to 10 feet long and weighing as much as 440 pounds. The discovery near the Gulf of Mexico raised alarms because arapaimas are known invasive species. These giant fish are native to the Amazon and are notorious for their unique traits and ecological quirks. Finding one so far from its natural habitat is highly unusual and concerning. If arapaimas were to establish a population in Florida, they could pose a significant threat to the local ecosystem. These fish are apex predators with voracious appetites, capable of making a dent in populations of both invasive and native species of fish and small invertebrates. Their presence could disrupt the balance of local aquatic ecosystems, leading to unforeseen consequences for biodiversity. But this is just one fish found so far from the Amazon. Arapaimas have specific breeding requirements. They nest on floodplains and spend a significant amount of time and energy caring for their young. They don't reach sexual maturity until they are about 5 feet long and at least 3 to 5 years old. So this makes the establishment of a sustainable population in Florida highly unlikely. While the sight of this river monster in Florida is certainly noteworthy, it's important to maintain a balanced perspective. The odds of arapaimas becoming a significant invasive species in Florida are low, but vigilance is still warranted. Number 10. Mystery sphere found on Japan's beach. Beachgoers strolling along a serene beach in Hamamatsu, Japan, came across an almost perfectly spherical metallic object. This mysterious one. 5-meter wide sphere washed ashore, leaving locals and authorities scratching their heads. The scene resembled a sci-fi plot twist, with everyone trying to figure out what on Earth, or perhaps beyond Earth, this object could be. Initially, there was a rush of speculation. Could it be an explosive mine? Bomb experts were promptly called to investigate, only to conclude that the sphere, though metallic, wasn't a threat. Thoughts of it being a surveillance device also surfaced, especially with reports of Chinese spy balloons making headlines. However, a thorough inspection revealed it was hollow and harmless. This enigma quickly became a local sensation, with theories ranging from the sphere being a Godzilla egg to a naval flotation device or even something from outer space. Despite the initial excitement and concerns, an X-ray examination confirmed that the sphere posed no danger. One runner on the beach mentioned that the sphere had been there for quite some time. He even attempted to push it, but it wouldn't budge. The local authorities decided that the object needed to be removed soon. The incident might not have caused such a stir if it weren't for the heightened alertness following the US downing of a suspected Chinese spy balloon. This event had Japan on edge, especially with its own concerns about suspected surveillance balloons spotted over its skies since 2019. The mysterious sphere of Hamamatsu turned out to be a buoy, which is a floating device used to mark positions in the sea, guide or warn mariners, and mark the positions of submerged objects. This overreaction remains a fascinating example of how an unexpected object can spark widespread speculation and curiosity. Number 9. Robot hand in Great Kills Park Beach, New York. During a casual autumn stroll along Staten Island's Great Kills Park Beach, an editor from underwater New York made a startling discovery: a robotic hand. This wasn't just any piece of beach debris, it was a mechanical hand with articulated fingers lying eerily alone on the shore. The hand, with its intricate design and lifelike movements, immediately sparked intrigue and speculation. Was it part of a discarded movie prop, a remnant of some high-tech project, or perhaps something even more mysterious? Underwater New York, a digital multimedia art journal, documents unusual objects that wash up around New York City, and this robotic hand is one of their most captivating finds. Great Kills Park has seen its share of strange discoveries, but a robotic hand raises all sorts of questions. Is there a robot out there missing its hand? the mechanical fingers, crafted with precision, suggest a story far more complex than a simple piece of debris. This isn't the first time underwater New York has documented such bizarre findings. Their records include everything from a grand piano to a dead giraffe, both discovered in lower New York Bay. Each item adds to the enigmatic narrative of what lies beneath the waters and washes up on our shores. Number 8. Gigantic sunfish washed up on Oregon beach. Beachgoers at Gearhart Beach in Oregon were in for a jaw-dropping surprise when they stumbled upon a colossal fish washed ashore. This wasn't just any fish, it was a rare hoodwinker sunfish. A massive 7-foot-long specimen with a round body, enormous fins, and bulging eyes. The sheer size and unusual appearance of this giant quickly turned it into a local sensation. Marine experts identified the creature as a hoodwinker sunfish, one of the largest bony fish in the world and a species rarely seen in the northern hemisphere. This particular fish, measuring an impressive 7.3 feet long, could be the largest of its kind ever documented, according to the Seaside Aquarium. Sunfish are fascinating creatures, and the hoodwinker sunfish is no exception. The hoodwinker has a smooth body and a distinctive clavus, a thick-skinned lobe at the back that acts as a rudder. These ocean giants can grow up to 11 feet in length and weigh as much as 2.3 tons. Typically residing in deep-sea waters, sunfish feed at depths between 660 and 2,000 feet, dining on jellyfish, small fish, and crustaceans. When hunting in these frigid depths, where temperatures can drop below 10 degrees Celsius, they occasionally sunbathe near the surface to regulate their body temperature. The hoodwinker was thought to inhabit only the southern hemisphere. However, rare sightings as far north as California and Alaska have challenged this belief. Whether these sightings indicate migration or an undiscovered population remains a mystery. This gigantic sunfish's unexpected appearance on an Oregon beach is a reminder that even in our well-explored world, there are still hidden giants waiting to be discovered. Number 7. Garfield Phone's Beach Mystery. Beaches are often littered with the usual suspects: seashells, driftwood, seaweed, and the occasional plastic bottle. Even finding an old phone or a broken one is within the realms of possibility. But how about finding not one, but hundreds of bright orange Garfield-themed telephones scattered along the shoreline? This quirky and persistent mystery puzzled the French coastal community of the Iroquois coast in Brittany for over 3 decades. Since the 1980s, these iconic novelty phones, shaped like the famous cartoon cat Garfield, have been washing up on Brittany's picturesque beaches. Anti-litter campaigners have been collecting fragments of these feline phones for years as part of their beach cleanups. The phones, with their signature design where Garfield's eyes open when the receiver is picked up, were a popular household item in the 1980s. The mystery behind this phone invasion was finally solved in a rather dramatic fashion. The root of the problem turned out to be a lost shipping container. The breakthrough came when a local farmer, spurred by media attention on the campaign, came forward. He remembered seeing the first Garfield phones after a storm in the early 1980s and knew where the container was located. This container, as it turned out, was hidden in a secluded sea cave accessible only at low tide. The farmer guided the campaigners and some journalists to the site. Climbing down slippery rocks, they finally found the source: a destroyed shipping container lodged in a rock fissure. Inside were the phones that had puzzled them for 3 decades. Many were in better condition than any previously found on the beaches. The quirky, nostalgic find of these Garfield phones, while amusing, underscores a more serious issue: the problem of plastic pollution. The container is still inaccessible, and it's unknown how much of its cargo is still sealed within. Moreover, The Garfield phones already released into the environment will not decompose within a human lifetime and will continue washing up on beaches. But now, at least, people know where they came from and are no longer baffled. Number 6. World War II Love Letters. In 2012, Superstorm Sandy wreaked havoc along the east coast of the United States, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Amid the devastation, a remarkable discovery was made on the shores of Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey. Kathleen Mullen and her 14-year-old son Patrick were taking a walk along the Henry Hudson Trail the day after the storm when they spotted a bundle of letters tied together with a pink ribbon. These 57 letters turned out to be love letters. Mullen took them home and dried them by the fireplace. The letters were written by Dorothy Fallon of Rumson, New Jersey, to Lynn Farnham of Vermont between 1942 and 1948. Each letter was a testament to their enduring love. Determined to reunite the letters with their rightful owners, Mullen embarked on a quest. She posted the letters on Facebook and Craigslist, and eventually found a lead on findagrave.com. There, she discovered a listing for Lynn Farnham, who had passed away in 1992 and was buried in New Jersey. This connection led her to Shelley Farnham Hilber, a niece of the couple living in Virginia. The discovery of these letters was magical for Farnham Hilber. The letters offered a poignant glimpse into the past, capturing the love and dedication between her uncle, Lynn Farnham, who served in World War II and was present at Pearl Harbor, and her aunt, Dorothy. The couple had 2 children, and although they had lost touch with their daughter, the family was thrilled to recover this precious piece of their history. Dorothy, now 91 years old and living in a nursing home in New Jersey, was about to be reunited with her cherished letters. Mullen's discovery was not just a personal triumph, but a beacon of hope amidst the chaos left by Sandy. Number 5. Lego Man. In 2007, beachgoers in Zandvoort, the Netherlands, were puzzled when an enormous 8-foot-tall Lego man washed ashore. This wasn't your typical piece of ocean debris. It was a 1,000-pound, larger-than-life figure bearing the mysterious label Ego Leonard. The sight of this bright, cheerful giant amidst the natural landscape sparked curiosity and excitement. As people speculated about its origins, the story took on an even more intriguing twist. This wasn't an isolated incident. Similar Lego men began appearing on beaches worldwide, from Florida to Brighton, each with cryptic phrases such as "No real than you are" inscribed on its chest. These figures, with their enigmatic messages and sudden appearances, seemed to be part of a larger, unsolved puzzle. The mystery deepened with the realization that these Lego men might be the work of a Dutch guerrilla artist named Leon Keer. Known for his thought-provoking street art, Keer's potential involvement added a layer of artistic intrigue. His possible role, however, remains unconfirmed, leaving the true story of Ego Leonard shrouded in mystery. In Siesta Key, Florida, one of these giant Lego men caused quite a stir when it appeared on the beach in 2011. The local sheriff's office took the figure into protective custody, amusing the public with their light-hearted approach to the bizarre find. They held the figure for 30 days, awaiting any claims of ownership. If unclaimed, it was set to go to Jeff Heineman, the beachgoer who discovered it, who then jokingly considered selling it on eBay. These massive Lego figures are more than just oversized toys. They carry a message that has a deeper commentary on reality and identity, resonating with people worldwide. The mystery of their appearances, combined with the potential artistic statement, makes them a unique phenomenon in modern pop culture. Number 4. Civil War era cannonballs. After Hurricane Dorian swept up the East Coast in 2019, a couple strolling along Folly Beach in Charleston, South Carolina, made an incredible find: Civil War era cannonballs. They were searching for shells and other beachcombing treasures when they discovered the historic cannonballs near a pile of brush. At first, they thought it was just a rock, but as they took a closer look, they realized it was something more. The cannonballs, one measuring 8 inches and the other a smaller 3-inch shell, were relics from a tumultuous past. Folly Beach, occupied by Union forces in 1863, was a strategic location during the Civil War. The Union troops built roads, forts, an artillery battery, and a supply depot, housing up to 13,000 troops and their equipment. It's not far from Fort Sumter, where the first shots of the Civil War were fired on April 12, 1861. Realizing the significance and potential danger of their find, the couple called the authorities. The area was cordoned off until explosive ordnance disposal experts could secure the cannonballs. The process took nearly 6 hours. The cannonballs were eventually hauled away by explosive experts and most likely destroyed. This isn't the first time such artifacts have been uncovered at Folly Beach. Erosion from storms often reveals buried treasures. In 2016, Hurricane Matthew uncovered 16 cannonballs on the same beach, which were also disposed of by the US Air Force. The discovery of these cannonballs highlights the historical significance and enduring legacy of the Civil War. Number 3. Forgotten World War II plane found on beach. Imagine the thrill of discovering a piece of wartime history while walking along a beach. That's exactly what happened on a Welsh beach when the remains of a Lockheed P-38 Lightning fighter aircraft, nicknamed the Maid of Harlech, were uncovered. This incredible piece of history, buried for decades, first crash-landed in September 1942. And has since been revealed by nature only a handful of times. The story behind this World War II relic is fascinating. On September 27, 1942, Second Lieutenant Robert F. Elliott, a 24-year-old pilot from North Carolina, took off from Landvetter on a gunnery practice mission. Less than an hour into the flight, the left engine of his aircraft lost power. Lieutenant Elliott attempted to manage the issue manually, but soon decided to make an emergency landing. Unfortunately, as he tried to reach the airfield, the right engine also failed, forcing him to crash land on the beach in just 2 feet of water. Despite surviving the crash with no injuries, Lieutenant Elliott tragically went missing in action a few months later during the Tunisia campaign. This plane, buried about 2 meters beneath the sands, remained hidden until shifting tides and sands revealed it to beachgoers in the 1970s, 2007, and 2014. Each time, it emerged like a ghost from the past, captivating the public and historians alike. The exact location of the aircraft is kept confidential to protect it from looters and disturbance. The Lockheed P-38 Lightning is an incredibly rare find. Only 28 airframes of this type are known to survive, and this particular aircraft is the only surviving USAF 8th Air Force P-38 combat veteran. The site has been given protected status by Wales's Historic Environment Service to preserve this significant piece of history. Efforts to protect and possibly recover the aircraft have been ongoing. In 2019, the site was designated as a scheduled ancient monument. This status underscores the plane's importance, both nationally and internationally, as a symbol of the technological advancements and the intense wartime efforts of the era. The Maid of Harlech remains buried in the sands of Wales, a haunting reminder of the past that occasionally reveals itself to the present. Number 2. World War II era bombs. Beachcombing is usually a delightful activity where you might uncover shells, sea glass, and other treasures, but sometimes the ocean reveals relics of a much more dangerous nature. World War II era bombs occasionally wash up on shores around the world, serving as stark reminders of past conflicts that still leave their mark. During World War II, both the Allies and Axis powers deployed thousands of bombs, many of which never detonated. These unexploded bombs remain hidden dangers in many parts of the world. High waves, storms, and coastal erosion can dislodge these forgotten relics, bringing them ashore and posing significant risks to beachgoers. One such incident occurred on New Year's Eve 2024 in California, when a World War II era practice bomb was discovered on Pajaro Dunes Beach between Santa Cruz and Monterey. A bomb squad, along with an Air Force unit, responded to the call. After a thorough inspection, they determined the bomb was inactive and safe to remove. Across the Atlantic, similar discoveries have been made. On Jersey's east coast, a World War II explosive was found and safely detonated by bomb disposal experts. The 105 mm German anti-aircraft shell posed a real danger, prompting authorities to act quickly to secure and neutralize the threat. Belgium also faced a similar situation when a 220-pound bomb was found on the beach near Coxyde, not far from Dunkirk. The Belgian military's bomb disposal unit successfully detonated the device. This event followed another significant discovery in the UK, where a 500 kilograms bomb was found in a Plymouth back garden. It led to one of the largest peacetime evacuation operations, with thousands of residents evacuated before the bomb was safely detonated at sea. These incidents serve as stark reminders of the hidden dangers that still linger from World War II. Coastal erosion and storms can expose hundreds or even thousands of these bombs, many of which remain live and could explode. It is important to exercise extreme caution when encountering such objects. The advice is very clear. If you come across anything that looks like this, do not approach it, do not touch it, and stay well clear of it. This is a job for experts. Do not try to be a hero, report it immediately. Number 1. A German U-boat washes ashore Hastings. For our next strange thing washed up on shore, we will have to go back in time and space to 1919 Hastings, England. One fine morning in 1919, in the tranquil town of Hastings, people woke up to find a massive German U-boat, U-118, beached right on their shores. With the First World War having recently ended, this was an incredible and bizarre sight for the residents, who had only heard about these formidable war machines. Excitement buzzed through the town as locals flocked to see the U-boat up close. For most, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The town clerk quickly capitalized on the situation, charging sixpence for people to have their picture taken on the deck. It was an instant tourist attraction, raising nearly £300 for the Mayor's Fund in just 2 weeks. But how did this weapon of war end up on a sleepy English beachfront? After the end of World War I, the German Navy surrendered its ships to the Allies. U-118 was destined for France to be dismantled for scrap. However, as it was being towed through the English Channel towards Scapa Flow, a fierce storm snapped the tow ropes. The U-boat floated aimlessly before washing up on the Hastings coast, right in front of the town's finest hotels, like a gigantic beached whale. As the town marveled at their new spectacle, 2 Coast Guards began giving tours of the submarine's interior to important visitors. Unfortunately, these tours had deadly consequences. Both Coast Guards fell seriously ill and eventually died, likely due to chlorine gas leaking from the U-boat's damaged batteries. Their deaths underscored the lingering dangers of this wartime relic. Despite the initial excitement, the novelty of the U-boat began to wear off. The townsfolk grew tired of the constant noise from children throwing rocks at the hull. The decision was made to dismantle U-118 and sell it for scrap. By December 1919, the submarine was largely gone, although some parts, like the 150 mm deck gun, were kept as souvenirs until they too were disposed of. Interestingly, U-118 wasn't the only submarine to wash up in Hastings. In January 1921, another German submarine, UB-131, broke free during a storm and ran aground on a nearby beach at Bulverhive. However, it didn't cause nearly as much of a stir and was quickly dismantled. So, there you have it, a German U-boat washing ashore in post-war England, turning a quiet seaside town into a temporary hub of curiosity and excitement. It's fascinating how strange and unexpected remnants of war appear in the most unlikely places. These unusual beach finds remind us just how vast and mysterious the ocean truly is. From historical relics to unexpected oddities, each discovery gives us a peek into the past and ignites our curiosity about what other secrets are hidden beneath the waves.